for Taiwan. My name is Jenny Wang from Outreach for Taiwan. Today we have a very special guest, Tiffany Yu. I'm sure many of you have seen the Taiwan Necklace project before, and Tiffany is actually the founder of the Taiwan Necklace project. Hey Tiffany, thank you for coming today.
Great to be here.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So again, my name is Tiffany Yu, and I'm the founder of the Taiwan Necklace project, which was a fundraiser for ITASA, the Intercollegiate Taiwanese American Student Association. Outside of that, I am the Director of Business Development at Revolt TV. It's a multi-platform music network for millennials.
The Taiwan Necklace project is pretty successful. I've noticed a lot of young Taiwanese Americans in the community wearing the necklace. So, for example, Ada Chen was wearing it in her Talk for Taiwan episode. So can you tell us more about what inspired you to make this Taiwan Necklace project?
I had a colleague who wore a necklace similar to this of her home state. And I looked online and didn't see anything similar to it. So I thought, you know what, if I can make this necklace for myself, and I want this necklace, maybe other people will as well.
You've been very active in the Taiwanese American community, and you seem very open-minded and open to new ideas. Have you ever studied abroad?
In 2009, I studied abroad in Beijing, and Georgetown actually does have a study abroad program in Taiwan, but I was studying Mandarin at the time and figured it might be a good idea to, go to mainland China, which I'd never been to before. And going there China is a really fascinating place. There's just so much going on there, so much change happening at the same time.
So, having experienced China, what's your opinion about the current situations over in East Asia right now?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting what's going on now, and that young people are mobilizing and having an opinion about decisions the government is making. I used to work in news, and I feel like one of the most important things, even if you don't have an opinion or you don't want to get involved on the political side of things, is just to know what's going on. And there are a lot of resources now, the Skim, Need to Know, a ton of resources now just so you can at least get a high level of what's going on in the world. The one thing I will say is when I was growing up, I knew nothing about Taiwan. And I didn't even know that I could identify myself as Taiwanese.
Right. You mentioned that when you were in China, you would tell people that you're American. Have you ever discussed the Taiwanese aspect of your American identity to people that you met in China?
I've had two types of conversations. I've had conversations with people who grew up in China who say Taiwan is a part of China, or they say Taiwan is a part of China, it just is. But that's what they were taught in their education.
Right.
Like, who am I to challenge what they learned and everything they knew growing up? And exactly what you said, I feel really open-minded about it. So if, I agree that you grew up and this was what was taught to you in your education, and I learned something different.
Right.
And that's just, it's kind of like this whole idea of the status quo. Like, every part of this trilateral relationship has their own version of what the status quo means, and everyone's okay with it. But no one's actually defined it or has the same definition of what it is. But this whole idea of an unshared history, I thought was really fascinating and I thought it was another point to say, the people who identify themselves as Taiwanese, it makes sense for them to do so because they didn't grow up during, the Cultural Revolution. They weren't over there. They, didn't experience all those things. They experienced something totally different on this, little island that was separate.
Thank you for coming all the way here for our Talk for Taiwan series.
Glad to be a part of it. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. If our audience wants to learn more about your small wins and positive thinking, where can they go learn more about you?
Yeah, for more inspirational quotes, and anything, if you want to continue the conversation on Taiwan, you can definitely follow me on Twitter at I'm Tiffany Yu.
Sounds great. Everyone follow her on Twitter at I'm Tiffany Yu. Once again, thank you for watching Talk for Taiwan with Outreach for Taiwan.